You know, at this stage in life, it's purely life itself. I've been into the profession for the last 28 years, right? So earlier when I started the profession, probably what drove me out of bed was the passion towards my work, you know, and looking forward to the projects that I was doing, to wanting to succeed and excel in whatever I do, and wanting to be better every day, you know, looking for personal growth. But over the years, after 28 years, you know, like today, life itself, you know, just to be alive and life itself gets me out of bed.
Is there anything called overnight success? I'm asking you this because when you had your first break in Yug Dekhi Yug Samma back in 90s, you were considered as an overnight success.
If you ask me personally, I do not believe in that. I think if there's no pain, there's no gain without pain, you know. And if you want to have instant success, overnight success, if you want things happen to you quickly, that might be counterproductive in long run. It is my experience tells me that if you are patient, if you are persistent, but at the same time, if you have certain amount of self-confidence in whatever you're doing, and if you're driven by passion, that works much more in the long run, and you are able to succeed much more. And that is the formula that I put in, you know.
What is that?
The formula that I put in was that I had certain amount of self-confidence in what I was doing, you know, even though I hadn't proven myself yet. So when you haven't proven, especially in my line, you know, in acting line, when you haven't proven yourself, people don't believe you.
Right.
You can't just tell them that you are an actor. You can tell them if you are an engineer, if you have an engineer degree.
True.
You can tell them I'm a doctor because I have doctor degree.
Right.
But you cannot say I'm an actor and not have anything to show, you know. So in my case, when I started off, I had a certain amount of self-confidence, thinking that if I get an opportunity, if I get a chance, if I'm able to, you know, get into the movies, I can put in my best and I will be able to succeed. That kind of self-confidence, you know. And persistence.
Persistence, right.
Is very, very important. If you are persistent and you believe in long-term goals, the immediate failures will not discourage you. As long as you know that you have the passion, you have the drive, and you are able to overcome the immediate failure in order to get into the larger picture, you know. But when it actually comes to your profession, you know, profession I think is a long-term plan life, you know. When young people like yourself or even younger people get into profession, that means they want to do something for the next 30 years or 35 years of their life, you know. So that's a long-term planning. And for that long-term planning, it's all right to want to get things done fast. You should also be able to be a little bit sensible, because you cannot apply a wrong method to get things instantly. But if you want things to move faster and you know that is the right method as well to do it and succeed at the same time, then there's nothing wrong in it, you know. Like for example, if you're in a line and you want to get ahead of a line, it is not fair to pull the people in front of you or push the people in front of you and then get into the front. That is not fair, right? That kind of instant success is not going to pay you in long run, and people are not going to appreciate it. Even if you manage to push the people and get to the
front row,
in the front row or whatever, you know, you might be able to get it, okay. But even if you do it, you will not be appreciated. But without pushing the people in front of you, if you know an alternative route to get there, if you are smart enough to find an alternative route to actually get into the front of the line, then you can find that route for yourselves, you know, and that is being smart. A person's response to failure also varies from age to age, you know.
That's interesting.
Yeah, my experience actually tells me that. When I was a younger person, I was not really scared of failures.
How young were you?
Say in my 20s.
20s, okay.
In my 20s, if something wrong happened to me or if I failed, it did not discourage me at all. Somehow I had that certain kind of confidence that, you know, I have failed because I have not given my best. It's not because I cannot do it.
That's interesting.
You know?
What kept you motivated?
That's what kept me motivated. You know, some people think when they fail, they think, oh, I'm bad, I cannot succeed because I have failed. Other people think that, oh, I have failed because I have not yet given my best. Maybe last time I did not give my best. So if I give my best the next time, I can overcome this failure. So that will keep you going as a younger person. But as age goes on, you know, when you come to my stage, you cannot afford to make many mistakes because you don't have time to rectify them.
Right.
But as a young person, you know, you can commit a mistake, you can learn from your mistake, you know, and you can grow at the same time and move on. You know, there's a saying that, you know, our failures and setbacks are not really a failure. It's actually an opportunity for us to grow and to learn. So if you take your failure like that, with that perspective, especially when you are young, in your 20s or 30s, I think you will gain much more from your failure.
So Rajesh, is it fair to say it's good to fail?
It's not good to fail all the time, because if you have failed all the time, that means you have not learned lesson from your failures. You know? But if you fail and you learn the lesson from your failure, and if you do not fail again at the same thing, then you are good.
Who is smarter? Who learns from somebody else's failure, or who learns from one's failure?
Well, the smartest thing would be to learn from other people's failure and not to face failure yourself, if you can do that.
Okay.
That is the best way. You got to be very smart for that, because especially in whatever profession you get into, and if you study about the people who were in that profession, and studied about their setbacks and challenges, and learn from their professional life, and you do not repeat the same thing, that's the best thing to do it, because that way you'll probably have much less failures in your life, because you have learned from other people's life. But then again, it is not too bad to learn from your own failures as well, because your own failures is also an experience. Other people's failure you have just been able to observe, but your own failures you have able to participate in.
Right.
So you have studied the failure from much closer quarters than you have studied when you see other people's failure. So that way it might even make you even a bolder person, from your own failure.